Hello and welcome back. Sorry for getting cut off last time. I didn't know that I only had 30 minutes on this thing. Well, let's get started before I run out of time again. Brony Adventure 2, Chapter 57, First Crush. At Shirley's and David's house, Dave says, "Have fun?" Cheryl says, "Yep." Shirley says, "You sure have lighted up." "Who is he?" Cheryl says, "Huh?" Shirley says, "I'm not blind." Dave says, "What?" "Who is he?" "I'll tell him." Cheryl says, "Thunderstorm." Dave says, "Oh, why?" Cheryl says, "He just seems so noble and loyal, also scary." Dave says, "Scary is right, his temper isn't the best." Shirley says, "And he's married, also older than you." Cheryl says, "I know, but when he hugged me." Dave says, "He hugged you?" Cheryl says, "Me and Aqua and Solar. Anyway, when he hugged me, I felt so warm inside." Shirley says, "Go talk to him." David says, "Huh?" Shirley says, "She'll listen to him." Dave says, "Oh." Cheryl says, "I can't." Dave says, I can come along." Cheryl says, "No thanks, bye." She zooms out of the house. Dave says, "I knew that work." Shirley says, "Nice job." Dave says, "Thanks." Shirley says, "How do you think it will go?" Dave says, "She'll be crushed, but she'll get over it. She's tough like her mother." Shirley smiles and says, "And sweet like her father." Dave smiles and looks at Shirley. They kiss. Shirley says, "It could be a while before she gets back." Dave says, "Yup." Shirley says, "Come inside." Dave says, "Let's go." Shirley opens the door and they go inside. In the sky above their house, Rabbi says, "That kid is really growing up." Did I just say that? I got to get out of here. Whew. And a chapter 57. The Brony Adventures 2, Chapter 58, A Plan Gone Wrong. At Rumor Dashes in Thunderstorm's house, Thunderstorm says, "Keep going, you'll get it." Rain says, "I'm trying." Cheryl says, Thunderstorm? Thunderstorm says, "Cheryl? Keep practicing, I'll be right back." Thunderstorm lands in front of Cheryl and says, "What's up?" Cheryl says, nothing. I'm gonna go home." Thunderstorm says, "Wait." He wraps a wing around her and says, "What's wrong? Please tell me." Cheryl look, looks at Thunderstorm, then at the wing around her, and blushes, and says, nothing is wrong." Thunderstorm says, "Then, what is it?" Cheryl says, Thunderstorm says, "I won't tell any pony. It can be our little secret." Thunderstorm winks at her and says, "What do you say?" Cheryl blushes a brighter red and says, "Oh, okay. I I like you." Thunderstorm says, "Oh, I'll make a deal with you, but tell no pony." Cheryl says, "What is it?" Thunderstorm says, "I'll turn into a colt your age and go on a date with you, but that's it." Cheryl says, "Want to go on a date with me?" Thunderstorm says, I don't want to completely crush you. I couldn't stand to see your heart broken." Cheryl says, "Oh, okay." Thunderstorm closes his eyes and focuses. His horns starts to glow, then his body glows. In one big flash, he's a colt. Cheryl says, "Whoa." Thunderstorm says, "One rule, no kissing." Cheryl says, "Okay, where are we going?" Thunderstorm says, "How about Sugar Cube Corner?" Cheryl says, "Okay." At Sugar Cube Corner, Cheryl says, "You look hot at my age, too." Thunderstorm says, thank you." "You look great, too." Cheryl blushes and says, "Thank you." 1 hour later, Thunderstorm and Cheryl walk out of Sugar Cube Corner. Thunderstorm says, "That was fun. See you, Cheryl." Thunderstorm closes his eyes and starts to focus. "Mmm." Thunderstorm opens his eyes and says, I have one rule, and you broke it. Cheryl says, I'm sorry, it's just that this date was so amazing. Thunderstorm sighs and closes his eyes again and focuses. His arm starts to glow, then his body glows. In one big flash, he's all grown up again. Thunderstorm says, Look, Cheryl, I tried to avoid saying this because it would crush you, but I love Rimmerdash. I'm more than happily married to her. We can't be together. Cheryl says, You didn't get mad when I kissed you. Thunderstorm says, That is beside the point, which is that I love Rimmerdash. My heart is with her. Cheryl says, Okay. Could you carry me home? Thunderstorm says, Sure. He picks her up and flies to her home. At Cheryl's home, Thunderstorm puts her down and says, You're blushing. No blushing. Cheryl says, Sorry. Thunderstorm says, See ya, Cheer. Whew. Cheryl says, Cheer? I have a nickname. He gave me a nickname. Dave says, coming inside, Cheryl? Cheryl says, Huh? Yeah, Dad. He gave me a nickname, and we kissed. We'll see who wins. Rimmerdash. Dave says, What? Cheryl says, Nothing. In the sky, close to Rimmerdash's and Thunderstorm's house, Thunderstorm says, I'm gonna have to tell Dashy. Maybe she can help me explain to Cheryl why we can't be together. I can't use the I'm older thing because I just came a cold an hour ago. I love Cheryl like a daughter. I don't want to see her heartbroken. Dashy, please be able to help. End of chapter 58. The Brony Adventures 2, chapter 59, Forbidden Love. Thunderstorm says, Almost home. Wait, I need to talk to Scootaloo. At a cloud a little ways from Thunderstorm's and Rainbow Dash's house, Thunderstorm lands behind Scootaloo. Scootaloo says, Hey, Dad. Thunderstorm says, Hey, how can you have feelings for me? I'm your dad, the pony that raised you. Scootaloo says, That's it, you took me in. We had so many bonding moments. Your wing wrapped around me so many times. You protected and loved me. Thunderstorm says, Of course I did. I'm your dad. Scootaloo says, By adoption. Thunderstorm says, Please don't say that. Please. I still don't understand how you could like me. Scootaloo says, I tried to make it go away, but it wouldn't. How do I look to you? Thunderstorm says, Smart, beautiful, fun, adventurous, and all kinds of amazing things. Scootaloo says, You said beautiful. Thunderstorm says, Yeah, you're always beautiful. Scootaloo looks over to Thunderstorm and says, So you think I'm beautiful? Thunderstorm says, I'm your dad. I always think you're beautiful. Scootaloo says, So you never found me attractive? Ever? Thunderstorm says, You're 16. Beautiful and stunning, but 16. Scootaloo says, You do think I'm attractive, don't you? Thunderstorm says, No, I don't. You're my Scootaloo rubs her tail on Thunderstorm's chin and says, You sure? Thunderstorm blushes and says, Stop, I didn't want to do this, but kiss me. Scootaloo says, Huh? Thunderstorm says, The dark pony secret I told your mother. You've heard it. That will settle this. Scootaloo says, How? Are you hurt? Thunderstorm says, I got a small cut. Now kiss me. Scootaloo says, Won't this be counted as cheating? Thunderstorm says, I'm not doing it in a romantic way, so no. Lots of parents give their kids a peck on the lips, which is really all I need. Thunderstorm says, Nope, cut, it's still there. Look, Kit. Magic sways over Thunderstorm. Scootaloo says, Looks like a real kiss worked. Thunderstorm says, No. So confused. Scootaloo says, I'm not. You're in love with me. The kiss proved it. Thunderstorm says, I love you? I love Dashy also. How can this happen? I've been raising you since you were 8. How can I be in love with you? Scootaloo kisses Thunderstorm again. Thunderstorm says, Stop. please. Scootaloo says, what's the problem? You, you, you love me. Thunderstorm says, that's it. My heart breaks at the thought of losing Dashi, but I don't want to lose you either. Scootaloo says, if I have to, I'll be with you in secret. Thunderstorm says, I don't want an affair. Cheating is wrong. Very wrong. We kissed twice. Tears fall from Thunderstorm's eyes, and he says, kissing counts as cheating. I cheated on your mother. I can't breathe. I'm gonna lose her. Scootaloo says, I'll just forget my feelings. Thunderstorm walks over to her and says, if you do that, it will destroy you and me. You're beautiful, smart, stunning, fun, amazing, and another word that I just can't say. Scootaloo says, sexy? Thunderstorm says, yeah. Memories of all that Thunderstorm has done for Scootaloo go through her head, and she says, so you noticed me, huh? Thunderstorm blushes and says, Scootaloo smiles and turns around and lays down and says, you've done so much for me, even now you're thinking about me. Thunderstorm says, Scootaloo says, get on top of me. Thunderstorm says, what? Scootaloo says, we're not strangers. We've known each other forever, so I'm ready. Thunderstorm says, no. Scootaloo looks at him seductively and says, please. Thunderstorm blushes blood red and says, kissing was bad enough. That's really cheating. Scootaloo lifts her tail and says, you know you want to. Thunderstorm says, oh Celestia, help me. Thunderstorm closes his eyes and focuses his horn starts to glow, then his body glows. In one big flash, he's 16. Thunderstorm says, this way I can't be counted as a pedophile. Thunderstorm gets on top of Scootaloo. End of chapter 59. I regret making that chapter. I don't know what was in my head. I take no responsibility for the past me. That's on him. Moving on. The Brony Adventure 2, Chapter 60. My lab, my business. At Hunter's and Zara's house, Hunter puts his hoof on a pitcher. It scans his hoof, then the wall opens to reveal his lab. Hunter walks in and the walls close. Hunter says, Project 7 is almost done. After 5 years, it's almost done. Zara says, nice lab. Hunter says, Zara, how did you get in here? Zara says, teleported. Hunter says, stupid magic. How did you know about my lab? Zara says, I saw you go in here yesterday. Hunter says, oh. Zara says, what is Project 7? Hunter says, I love you, but I can't tell you, or any pony, till it's finished. Zara says, so you're keeping things from me now. If you really loved me, you'd tell me. Hunter says, I'm entitled to my privacy. Zara says, yes you are, but you should at least be able to tell me. Hunter sighs and says, I want it to be a surprise. Zara says, I don't want to be surprised. Hunter says, don't let me activate security. Zara says, security? You wouldn't dare. Hunter presses a green button. Robotic ponies fall from the ceiling. Hunter says, meet RP1 and RP2. RP1 says, leave or be thrown out. RP2 says, what he said. Zara says, you expect these tin cans to throw me out? I'm an alicorn. Hunter says, so are they. He presses a gray button and horns rise out of the robotic ponies' heads. Zara says, they can't do magic. Hunter smiles and presses a purple button. RP1's horn starts to glow, then Zara is outside of the lab. Zara says, Hunter! A magical field covers the lab. Hunter says, good job, RP2. RP2 says, thank you, sir. Hunter says, you too, RP1. RP1 says, thank you, sir. Hunter says, time to finish Project 7. End of Chapter 60. Yeah, the chapters are pretty much get shorter as you get closer to the end of the book. Kind of telling you right there that it's coming to an end. Anyway, Brony Adventure 2, Chapter 61, Found Out. At Twilight's and JD's house, JD says, Thunderstorm scared you? Twilight says, Was it your fault? Solar says, I might have called him an old man. JT says, you called a pony, like Thunderstorm, an old man. You're lucky he cares about you or he would have sent you into a tree. Twilight says, JT, Thunderstorm does not hurt fillies. JT says he doesn't, but his temper might. Twilight says he still wouldn't. JT says, Solar just told us that Thunderstorm killed Anti-Luna. She looks like Luna, his mother. Twilight says, looking like and actually being is two different things. JT says, she is Luna, a evil replica, but still Luna. Twilight says, exactly. Keywords, evil and replica. JT says, he still killed a pony. Twilight says, she threatened to take Rain. I'm not saying killing her was right, but what else was there to do? What if, instead of Rain, she threatened to take Solar? JT says, I'd kill her. Twilight says, exactly. JT says, I see where you're coming from. No one touches my Solar. Solar smiles. Twilight says, we haven't heard from Thunderstorm in a while. We should go see him. JT says, okay. A little ways from Rainbow Dash's and Thunderstorm's house. Twilight says, do you hear that? JT says, hear what? Twilight says, listen. Scootaloo says, uh. Twilight says, oh Celestia, that's Scootaloo. JT says, I see a red wing. Oh Celestia, it's Thunderstorm. And chapter 61. Brony Adventures 2, Chapter 62. Love always makes it through. Scootaloo says, okay, Dad, stop. Thunderstorm says, sorry. Twilight says, Thunderstorm, Scootaloo, what are you doing? JT says, yeah. Scootaloo says, uh-oh. Thunderstorm says, fly. Scootaloo says, right. Twilight says, I can't believe he did that. JT says, let's head home. Twilight says, okay. At Rainbow Dash's and Thunderstorm's house, Scootaloo says, made it. Thunderstorm says, yep. Rainbow Dash says, where have you two been? Thunderstorm says, Dashy, I got something to tell you. Tears fall from Thunderstorm's eyes, and he says, but please don't leave me. Rainbow Dash says, what's happened? Scootaloo stands up straight. Thunderstorm says, I'll be right back. Thunderstorm says, I'm back. Rainbow Dash says, what did you do that for? That cut is huge. Thunderstorm says, yeah, I guess I overdid it. Kiss me. Please. Rainbow Dash says, of course. She kisses Thunderstorm. Magic sweeps over him. Thunderstorm says, thank you. Rainbow Dash says, happy to. Now, what's going on? Thunderstorm says, that kiss proves I love you, but today Scootaloo told me that she has feelings for me, so we kissed to see if I did for her. She healed a small cut I had. I love you both, but there's more. How to say this? Scootaloo says he got on top of me. Rainbow Dash says, oh. Thunderstorm says, please don't leave me. Rainbow Dash says, I said I never leave you, and I meant it. Thunderstorm says, really? Rainbow Dash smiles and says, you still love me. If I left, it would destroy you. Thunderstorm falls on his knees, tears falling out of his eyes, and he says, I'm so sorry. Rainbow Dash says, the fact that if I left you, it would destroy you is apology enough. I love you. I'm not going to leave you. At least it's Scootaloo and not some pony like Applejack or Twilight. It's Scootaloo. She needs some pony like you, and so do I. Thunderstorm says, I said I'd never hurt you. Rainbow Dash says, I'm not hurt. Scootaloo says, so powerful yet so weak around us. Thunderstorm says, I'm sorry. So sorry. She slaps him and says, snap out of it. I'm not hurt. I still love you. Thunderstorm says, really? Rainbow Dash says, yes. Look how this is eating you alive. How could I be mad at you? Thunderstorm says, I should still pay somehow. Red Ash says, I just slapped you. Thunderstorm says, I meant worse than that. I'm gonna go break my wing. Red Ash says, what? No, you're not. Thunderstorm says, I love Squidly, but what I did was still wrong. I should and will pay. Red Ash says, fine, you're so hung up on it. Red Ash looks at Thunderstorm seductively and walks around him, rubbing up against him. She even goes under him. Thunderstorm says, huh, how is this punishment? And Red Ash says, because now that you're excited, and I know you are, your wings are up. Anyway, now that you are excited, you get nothing. I'll do this for a week. Scooby says, Dad, you're shaking. Thunderstorm says, I shouldn't have asked for punishment. And Red Ash and Scooby laugh. Thunderstorm says, this is going to be the longest week of my life. End of chapter 62. The Brony Adventures 2, Chapter 63, Ecrucia's Last Days. An explosion goes off. Zara says, Hunter! Oh, Celestia, look at you! Hunter says, tell every pony to run. Project 7 is going to destroy everything. Zara runs out of their house and says, help! Hunter is hurt bad! Thunderstorm says, where is he? Project 7 sends Thunderstorm flying across the air. He hits the ground hard. Zara says, Thunderstorm, get up! No! Get away, please! Please! Project 7 hits Zara through her own house and takes off. Twilight says, what is that? It's headed for the castle! Abdot says, oh, Celestia, no. At the castle, in the throne room, guards say, ah! What is this thing? No! How can a pony be this strong? Ah! The throne room doors burst open and Project 7 walks in. Celestia says, who are you? What are you? Why are you doing this? Project 7 flies at Celestia almost at sonic rainbow speed and crushes Celestia's neck against her throne. Celestia falls down dead. Luna says, Sister, no! Project 7 spots Princess Luna and flies at her. Princess Luna says, you demon! Project 7 punches Princess Luna into the wall. Princess Luna says, ah! Project 7 flies at her again. Princess Luna says, where is my son? Project 7 reaches Princess Luna and crushes her head into the wall. She tears up the castle, then descends into Camelot. Twilight says, it came out. Princess Celestia, Princess Luna must be dead. Tears fall from Twilight's eyes. Applejack says, it's attacking Camelot. What do we do? Twilight says, hide Thunderstorm. He's the only pony who can stop this. Applejack says, what about you? Twilight says, I'm going to try to stop it. She runs off. Applejack says, Twi, stop! You'll die! We're stronger together! Twi! Beefeye says, what now? Applejack says, we do what Twi said. We hide Thunderstorm. Meanwhile, at Merdash's and Thunderstorm's house, Scootaloo says, Mom, what is that? Murdash says, something only your dad can save us from. Rain says, Daddy? Scootaloo says, there's Dad. He's on the ground, not moving. I gotta help him. Murdash flies in front of Scootaloo and says, stop. If we die, Thunderstorm will be too heartbroken to save any pony. Scootaloo says, but he's... Murdash says, he survived worse. He'll wake up. He has to. We need to hide so we don't get killed. Come and get your sister. Scootaloo says, okay. Scootaloo looks at Camelot. It's engulfed in flames and destruction. Scootaloo says, why? Why do we all have to die? These are the days of the end. Ecrucia's last days and the end of the Brony Adventures 2. Goodbye. And at last, we get past book 2. Hopefully, as I said in the description of the first video, well, in part 4, my webcam will start working right again. Sorry for that again, by the way. Anyway, thanks for coming back. Thanks for listening, and see you next time.